Alright, so, it's my second attempt at making a video. Well, it's my attempt at making a second video. I think I've made 5 attempts so far. Somehow, well not somehow, but because of a quirk in the controls of my audio editing software, most of my audio's gone, so I'm gonna just have to be recording back over videos for the time being. How well that goes over. For right now, let's see here. If you watched the previous video, you know I was messing around in this province for a little while, not really knowing what to do to take it, and these guys had me pretty much stymied. They were occupying a castle, which means high ground in a fortified position, had more troops, and had better quality troops. The only advantage I had was my navy's in range for a bombardment. When I retreated from a counterattack, somehow the AI got it in its head that this was a good idea to follow me out onto open plains where I have the numbers advantage, have them dead in the sights of my naval guns, and just in general blew a massive advantage. So as long as I don't do any make any major mistakes, I'm gonna win this. Let's watch. Alright, I paused for a second at this point in the video to make some comments. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to get a nice little crash course on how to narrate a video I've already made. Yes, cursor. Demonstrate to them. I hate my software. Good night. How long was I talking? Apparently I talked for quite a while. This is me showing off the differences in the militaries. You can see I have a massive advantage, but they have cavalry. And, I don't know, I guess a small advantage in... Nope, not even an advantage in melee troops. I have them beat in every category, even cavalry, because I still have 3 generals to their 2. Let's see how this battle that I already know the outcome of goes. Let's see how good I am on a retrospective. That's a pretty good quote. If perfection is unattainable, then improvement is potentially infinite. Yeah, I'm gonna stop trying to be philosophical now. Oh yeah, I remember doing this. I did a pretty standard formation for me. My line infantry up front to shoot them to pieces as they approached, and my spearmen directly behind the line infantry to move forward and block a bayonet charge or another spear infantry charge. And that's me honoring a time... I gotta learn to talk. I gotta learn to talk if I'm gonna do this. That's me honoring a age-old piece of experience. Yeah, I stayed up all night. Maybe this wasn't a great idea. But me zooming up and down off the terrain like that, that is a lesson I've learned from many, many times of not paying attention, that you need to make sure what the contours of the terrain are. I've had a lot of cases in Empire where I put cannons behind small hills I didn't see. All my cannonballs just went flying ineffectually into the air. Yeah, this is pretty standard stuff for me. Line infantry up front,
sir, we defend.
Spearmen directly behind to reinforce, and cavalry on both wings, and my general behind the front line to inspire people. This is a much smaller army than mine. Let's see how they do. I'm hearing Gimli in my head right about now, going, bring your brutish flesh to my axe. I don't get that formation either. They have one firearm unit out in front of the entire line, then another on the left, and just a bunch of spear units. What are we doing? And here comes the fireworks.
Hold position. Spears at the ready.
Moving in a little bit closer, I know how fast this can turn into a close combat situation. Just move forward, Dingus.
Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir.
I should have sent those spearmen forward earlier. I should have hit them before they hit the line. It's almost a little ridiculous just how much of an advantage the general units have in actual hand-to-hand combat. Then again, I'm about to demonstrate why you don't use your generals as one of your primary combat units, and they just demonstrated why. Yeah. They talk about battlefield chaos. I can't imagine actually trying to command this kind of a situation with no bird's eye view and no communications equipment. I'm on a chair, and I have a big fan with a symbol painted on it. I wave it when I want someone to do something. And they made it work. Yeah, they blew a tremendous advantage when they followed me here. There's my naval guns. There's another lesson I do need to internalize, though. I need to make sure I keep some reserves back for when holes open up in a line like that. You never know what kind of emergency situation could... there's a no-sleep brain fart. You never know what kind of emergency situation could arise. Get plenty of sleep, kids. This is your brain on insomnia. And halting speech. Their general has fallen. Maybe it won't be this video. I love how he says that there's still active units on the board. I can't tell if that's a glitch or if that's him trying to tell me that victory is basically assured at this point. I don't know. Either way. This point is just a matter of defeating the last few units and running down the survivors. There's me pausing it. The battle's over. I don't feel like this is cheating at this point. Make sure I've got a cavalry unit hitting everybody. I had a video bring up an interesting point the other day. Kind of had me thinking quite a lot about it for a while. About how we always assume if they talk about a Japanese sword that they're talking about a katana, but katanas arose very late in Japanese history, at least samurai history, I guess. Japanese history went on for several centuries past the invention of the katana. And it made me think about the fact the katana is actually was invented as a development of existing technology in response to the escalation of warfare. That's the history of every weapon. What I was saying was, I don't know, the katana kind of developed in direct response to the Mongol invasions. The swords they had at the time were actually snapping off and getting embedded in Mongol armor, so I guess I'm not sure what the technical differences were when they changed the design, but I've held a katana, and I've held the tachi, the sword they had at the time, and the katana is a lot heavier, and frankly feels a lot more satisfying to hold. One of the coolest things I found out about it, though, is one of the design aspects of the katana is it was designed to be able to draw and strike in the same motion, which basically gives you a quick draw ability, similar to a pistol if you were, say, unhorsed, fell off your horse, or were just ambushed. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to skip through this now. Alright! Lost entirely too many men in that battle, especially for the advantage I had. Oh well. Learn as you go, I guess. Learn as I go. I lost nearly the same amount as they did in a battle where I had a 2-to-1 numbers advantage. That's insane. I gotta get better at this. Yeah, this is me marveling at this battle details screen I had never noticed before. I don't think it'll ever come up again, though. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun narrating all these videos over again. This is me making sure, nope. I appear to have sidetracked myself. Yeah, you gotta make sure you don't research any of the wrong tech in this game. Yeah, this is me explaining just that. If you don't make sure your clan development's going forward, you can end up stuck in the first tech tree, and it'll automatically research those other 4, and they'll send you backwards. You can turn this entire game into just you fighting to get your clan development moving forward again. I appear to have taken a lot longer to explain that than I needed to. Alright, this is the best thing for someone with a self-esteem problem. I get to critique myself in front of an audience. At least I've got the backbone to do it. This is me. Frankly, I don't know what kind of shenaniganery I'm getting up to right about now. I know Hyuga's basically already fallen over. And Nobuake are about to go the way of the dodo. For appropriately similar reasons. Let's combine the fleets so I've got my firepower all in one place.
Ready for orders.
Yeah. I sent the whole fleet there by accident. I was trying to send one ship there to blockade the port and keep 2 to bombard Hyuga, or the castle. I can't remember. Yeah, these are the names of the castle towns, not the provinces.
As you command.
Alright, I retreated from that, and I'm not sure why.
What you can, man. Besieging.
Oh, I wanted to make sure I had burned the farm down. Being the nice guy that I am. Transfer new troops to the front. I'm a lot better at this than I was when I actually bought this game for the first time. I guess that's years of learning how to think. Always go with the reloading skill. see if there's anything else I can do. I've got all their economy buildings on fire right about now. That is my preferred strategy, though. Attack their economy first. If they run out of money, they can't replace losses, they can't expand their military, and they can't repair anything. Although I never seem to get them quite that destitute, but they can't fix any of the buildings I damage. That's okay, I can just keep damaging them. And keep them spending money trying to recover their economy in just this endless cycle. Yeah, getting some cavalry ready. I'm not entirely sure I don't prefer this format to me narrating while I'm actually trying to play the game. My mind's on the game when I'm playing the game, for obvious reasons. Now I can just focus on what to say. I don't know. I'm going to have to try this a couple more times anyway, because, again, some quirks in my system deleted all my audio. I guess I'll see what I like better. Definitely won't have to deal with as many clicks in this format. What am I doing? I'm talking about something, but I don't know what. This would work as a format if I actually knew I was going to be doing it and had something planned to say for all this. What am I? Oh. I have a feeling this is the part where somebody came down and interrupted me. I just had to stop and edit it out later. Alright, whatever. I'm probably going to leave them under siege. I really should adopt my next general. I forgot something. Yep, I forgot to start researching the correct technology right after I harped about it. And now I think I'm going back to explain stuff. Boy. Nagasaki. A lot of these city names will take on new significance in the intervening years. Although I'm really not sure how prominent Nagasaki as a capital was for whatever clan controlled that area. I do find it kind of ironic that I'm playing as Satsuma, the province, or the clan that revolted against the Emperor as soon as they won the war. As a matter of fact, they revolted against the Emperor as soon as they won the war by seizing Kumamoto Castle in Hyuga over there. Interesting. In real life, the castle at Hyuga is often considered the greatest Japanese castle ever to have been built, because the guy who built it specifically factored in lessons he learned during the Sengoku period and the invasion of Korea. And later on in life, it stood up to rifled artillery, muskets, and a highly organized army that was, frankly, quite stunning in their strategy. The fact that one clan held off the Imperial Army, well, they didn't hold it off, but they almost got their position strong enough to hold it off. In their defense, it's a little hard to hold off 60,000 Imperial troops when you have like 5,000 of your own. Yeah, I kind of almost prefer this. Nobuega. Well, alright, me, what are we doing? Quick save. And fight. The Battle of Saito. Kind of like that, how they're, I don't know if they still do it in the Fall of the Samurai DLC, but I know in the original they have a little monument set up on the map commemorating large battles. That was kind of cool. Let you track your progress. For those of you who think I'm talking poorly now, I would like to inform you that the original attempt at this video included me saying the phrase, audit Edio. I'm not sure I've ever butchered something quite that hard. I still remember what I did for this battle, though. Have flying infantry spread out in a line, draw them in, hide my melee troops behind hills. Basically be ready to outflank them. I don't remember the troop or the casualty report after this battle, so let's see if it worked any better than my previous strategy that got so many men killed.
Returning to formation.
Levies at your command. The levy is ready, sir. Levies at your command.
Returning to formation. The levies are ready, sir. Moving on. Spears to the fore.
I'm trying to give them a wider frontage. Yeah, stash them behind the hill.
On the line, sir.
Figure out what to do with the 85-man unit.
Levies are waiting orders.
I don't know if I've mentioned this so far, but the reason all my troop counts are so different from the vanilla game is I'm using Darth mod for Shogun II. My absolute favorite mod
defense,
series.
sir.
I would recommend it to anybody that likes playing these games. Of course, it only goes up to Shogun 2. After this, I think the modder actually started making his own video games. I'm gonna find out about that one and try and plug him in the next video. Because I've got such a massive fan base, I'm sure he'll be ecstatic. Oh well. I like to lend support where I can, even if I'm not particularly noteworthy as a supporter. Hatamoto.
Ready.
Sweep them. Let them taste steel.
Levies at your
Levies
command!
awaiting
Levies
orders!
at your command! Ready for orders, sir! Line infantry! Levies at your command!
Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir.
Oh, there went the flare rocket for my naval artillery.
At the double!
Alright, you boyos. Get you in position. Wait for the naval bombardment to hit so you're not, being plastered by our own cannons. There we go. Send one to the front, one at the flank. They can't target all three of those at the same time. I really should have sped up my deployment right here. I should have caught those spearmen in the flank while they were advancing, not once they had already hit my line infantry, but my musketeers. No, not musketeers either. I'm going with riflemen. I don't know why I paused here. This is kind of cheating. I am going with riflemen, because at this stage in history what they had were Minie Rifles, which we, as Americans, and being totally incapable of pronouncing foreign words, called Minie Rifles, or at least mini bullets. They had... I'm going to wait till the next loading screen to explain muskets versus Minie Rifles. Maybe instead of skipping loading screens, I could just explain fun historical facts during them. I'd say I'm taking comments on it, and I am taking comments on it, but my fan base is so small, I guess that's like 3 comments, maybe. Be 3 more comments than I've gotten on any video so far. I can just explain rifles and muskets at the time being.
General, sir.
The whole reason they didn't use rifles before, I don't know specifically, mid-1800s, I guess. The reason they didn't use it before then is that you had a muzzle-loading weapon. You had to put a ball down the muzzle of it. A rifle, to function, has to have its grooves fitting snugly against the muzzle. And because of that, they loaded a lot slower than smoothbore muskets, which had a barrel that was actually larger than the ball, so it just went right down. Slower, it meant that when the grooves fouled up, which happened a lot, the weapon could actually become just completely non-functional. The ball could jam in the barrel, which is a problem. And some French guy named
Your
Minie
general has fallen.
figured out, yeah, there's the death of one general. A Frenchman named Minie figured out that you could take a conical bullet and stick it down a rifled weapon that was larger than the size of the bullet, but if you had...
The loss of your general has shaken the morale of the men, sir.
Thank you. The back of that bullet was kind of hollow and cupped. The black powder going off would actually expand the back end, causing it to bite into the rifling, which meant they had rifled weapons now that could be loaded as fast as the musket and could be produced as simply as the musket. And if you know anything about the Civil War, that didn't go well for people for a very long time, until they figured out that you can't stand in front of people with accurate weapons and expect to survive.
Victory is assured, sir.
I realize that's a novel and arcane concept, but apparently the secret of hiding behind trees was a hard thing for us to figure out for quite a while. I made a mistake here. I didn't pursue them. Lost most of my command staff right there. And I made the mistake of not pursuing the enemy because I forgot that this was them counterattacking during a siege and that they would go back into the city if they survived.
Attacking the settlement, my
Oh,
lord.
well. At this point, my main concern is replacing those generals because I have a general now. At 40, what is he? 47? Yeah, I have a general who is 47 years old, and I'm relying on him for another heir. I don't actually know what happens if your characters all die off from old age. I hope I don't have to find out.
Orders received. Gathering supplies. Journey completed.
Besieging.
Have some bombardment. I'm just going to starve them out at this point. I think this is before they had attritional losses for the besiegers. So, until next time.